I had a shit ton of injuries in my career, and I have basically created a few rules based on my experience on how you can avoid developing any overuse injuries, literally any. So this video will be on avoiding injuries. It will not be about recovering from injuries. However, if that's something you're interested in, I would still watch this video because I'm sure you will learn a lot from it. So if you're new here, my name is Karol, and I have a goal of becoming as strong, as powerful, as agile, and as athletic as physically possible. And developing every possible overuse injury on the planet wasn't really my goal, but shit happens. At least now I know exactly how to avoid it. First rule, track your workouts. This is just non-negotiable. I'm not going to even expand on this. This is like infinite fucking benefits. So I don't know how you can not track your workouts in a training journals. I literally couldn't live without tracking down my trainings in a journal or in my phone. So the main metrics you want to track are the load, the number of reps and sets, obviously, the reps in reserve or rate of perceived exertions. It's pretty much the same, but it has some differences. And the fourth metric will be the amount of discomfort you felt during the set. And this takes us to my second point. Basically, it is very likely that sooner or later you will start feeling some overuse in your joints, for example, and as soon as you feel some discomfort during a set, like I don't mean the lactic acid, but that stinging discomfort that you feel it's something wrong in your body. As soon as you feel that during a set, just note it down in the training journal on a scale from 1 to 10, and also write down exactly which body part and in which place hurt you. And after you do that, your job becomes monitoring it. For instance, if you had planned 3 sets of 40 kg dips in your session, but on your first set you felt like a very slight discomfort in your right knee while doing the negative portion of the first rep, you have 2 options. The first option is to lower the load to the point where you no longer feel discomfort. I would start by like 25%, so from 40 kg you could lower it to like 30 kg and try doing that set again. Just the weight changes, the reps and sets stay the same. So if you still feel discomfort, then you should just keep reducing the load by 25% until it doesn't hurt no more and you can just finish your workout pain-free and discomfort-free. And the second option, when you feel discomfort, is to just switch up the exercise for a similar movement pattern, but just different exercise. So for example, you could change 40 kg weighted dips to like, I don't know, 80 kg bench press or weighted push-ups, something like that. And the benefit of that approach is that you will often be able to use heavier loads because that will be just different movement pattern that won't necessarily irritate some of your joints or tendons. However, if after switching the exercise you still feel discomfort, you could either reduce the load by 25% on that switched exercise, or you could go back to your main exercise and keep reducing the load there. So it's just like a loop, you know. I will have a picture attached that I've actually made. It took me so much more time to figure that out, but I'm really proud of it, and it's just like basically the template for avoiding injuries. So after you finish your workout, you basically take a rest, like 48 to 72 hours, and your next training session is the most important part. You increase the load here very slightly, because the last training session you chose a load that was pain-free and discomfort-free. So you can try increasing the load for this training session by very small amount, like maybe 5 kilos when it comes to those dips. And you basically monitor if you feel discomfort or don't. And if you feel discomfort with that slightly heavier load, just follow the process from your previous training session. So either try to reduce the load by 25% or just switch up the exercise. And if you don't feel any discomfort in that next training session, then you can just keep repeating that process, but keep adding like 5 kgs, like very small amount, keep adding that. And you will just slowly build up to the weight you used originally. And this will just build up those weaker tendons, make sure they are properly recovered. It will just get rid of all of the overuse in your body. And this process is so fucking good. It works literally for every overuse injury. I get that sometimes it can be really difficult to step away after you have taken your pre-workout, after you're really hyped to see progress. It's often difficult to just step away from that after you notice some discomfort. This was exactly my mistake. I was just so focused and so hyped about making progress all the time that I just trained through pain, trained through discomfort, and I developed horrible overuse injuries in my elbows, and actually also in my knees and Achilles, but that's a different story. So this is another big lesson for you: never train through pain or through discomfort.
Even when my arms started making weird clicking noises, I kept doing push-ups.
It basically always starts with like 0.5 on a scale of 10 discomfort, but then on the next training session it's already like 1 out of 10, and then it's like 1.5 out of 10. All of a sudden you have a horrible chronic overuse injury developing. You don't want that. It really is as bad as it sounds. Basically, you could never let a situation happen where you feel like 2 out of 10 pain, discomfort on a certain lift, because you should really treat everything when it's 1 out of 10 maximum, ideally less than that. And the reason why we want to lower the load and not stop doing everything completely is because overuse injuries happen because the tendon simply doesn't have the capacity to move the weight you want it to move. So you don't want to let that tendon rest because it will just simply get weaker if you don't train it. You want to strengthen that tendon, but do that with a weight that it can handle. That is why we lower the weight. And this is also like a universal method to treat literally every injury. You pick a movement where it irritates your injury, you scale it down to the load that's manageable for you, that doesn't cause any discomfort, any pain, and you just slowly keep progressing, increasing the load higher and higher until you are at your original weights, and then you're healthy. This is literally how you treat like 99% of injuries, so remember that. And my last point is to keep a balanced strength training program. Like, you should have obviously vertical pushing, vertical pulling, horizontal pushing, horizontal pulling, like that's common sense. But also if you are doing like isolations, like tricep presses or cable presses for triceps, things like that, then you should also have an isolation for bicep. This was my big problem. My elbow really hurt and I didn't know why. And I was doing a lot of tricep isolations because I wanted to heal my tricep tendinopathy. But I didn't realize that I wasn't doing any curling motion. I wasn't even doing chin-ups. I was only doing pull-ups. And that is why my elbow really started hurting when I was just doing that motion of curling something. And that is when I realized I don't do any curling, but I do a lot of isolations for pushing with my tricep. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you just have like an injury or something, really try to think about it and journal maybe. Why did it happen? What is the source of that injury? You've probably hear that everywhere. Treating the source is just the most important. Treating the reason why it happened in the first place. Okay, so this is it for this video. Also a shorter one. My camera literally has like 2% of battery right now, so I'm happy I managed to speedrun this. And yeah, if you want to learn how you can shift your mindset and really level up your game in fitness, but not only in fitness but also in life in general, in self-improvement, watch my last video. I really explained an amazing tactic for improving your life there. It's basically about creating your future self and then developing a relationship with him. It might sound weird, but it's literally like the best self-improvement tactic that I have found. Okay, I have 1% right now, so